cost of living is so high in urban areas that the Dominican minimum wage has failed to keep pace. A recent study carried out by the Juan Bosch Foundation and the DR Development Corporation Institute has revealed that 47% of Dominicans are living below the poverty line. At the minimum wage of 9,000 pesos per month, that is roughly $180, many residents have a hard time covering even the basic necessities. 60% of people have an average income of 11,734 pesos, which is below the cost of the bottom line family survival basket, which is 13,346 pesos, as estimated by the central bank in the beginning of 2019. Dominicans of Haitian descent are the poorest in the country, and many of them live close to the Haiti-Dominican border. Low incomes, lack of health, and poor living conditions keeps them in a cycle of poverty and despair. Also, social exclusion doesn't help the families either. Dominicans of Haitian descent are usually undocumented or migrant sugarcane plantation workers, which means they do not receive any aid from social assistance programs, example pensions. To make matters worse, in 2013, the highest court in the Dominican Republic ruled to exclude citizenships to children of migrant Haitians who were born after 1929. This ruling forced thousands, including children, to leave the country, and many who were still here were trapped in poverty while they hope to one day become documented citizens again. Since that ruling, almost 300,000 Dominicans of Haitian descent have applied for citizenships, and only a few have become citizens, meaning the majority of these folks remain stateless. Again, the result of two corrupt governments controlling and squeezing innocent humans. In other words, their political games.
Right now I'm with Freddie from Canada, and we are now in Montellano. We're going to the countryside right now because we want to help the old people that have no food, very poor people. You understand? So this is the human right, like to help them. You understand?
Yes.
We like to help the children,
Yes.
and the old people without money.
We're now heading into the countryside to where the poorest people are here.
Right.
We're doing our part to help as much as we can and to encourage others to help our cause.
Try to help him out, give him some food. Somebody's blind, he can see, he cannot work, he got no money, he's really poor. That's what we want to help him out.
Dami reflect también, papi. Dami reflect, papi, también.
Okay, right now right here, these people that right now they have no food, nothing to eat. So I'm gonna give you some food to these people right now. So this guy, he got no job, nothing. You understand? So far, give it to the people. That's what I need.
Ese es hijo tuyo.
Sí, 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 sí.
Hola.
Ok,
Ahí,
ok.
un pequeño varón aquí.
Dile, Father, muchas gracias.
Hola.
Gracias, hermano. Thank you. Dile, Father. Dile, Father.
Thank you.
He say thank you. See?
Welcome, welcome. Fred, he's the donator here. So.
Yeah, right.
So we are way back out in the back country of Montellano.
Right, yes.
And is there a name of this little community?
Caravaggio. Caravaggio here.
Caraballo.
See, that's the name of the place. Caravaggio.
Okay.
He is.
I will practice that one.
Oh, yeah. Right, that's
And
right.
we got Fred.
Yeah, tell
I'm
him.
proud of the people, how happy they are, and the conditions they live with.
Right,
And we are here to help them, and we need a lot more help, people.
right. Yes, exactly. You're telling the people from Canada, from the United States to help them?
That's what
Tell-
I said. We
tell-
need, we
tell
need
them.
a lot more help. People in Canada, especially my hometown. After you see this, you're going to understand where
People
I'm
from the
coming
United States too.
And the United States.
Another nation.
And here, everybody helps everybody. Doesn't matter, Dominican, Haitian.
Right.
If they need assistance,
Right.
help us to help them.
Yeah.
Thank you.
They're just handing a little present for
Right.
the sweet lady here.
Yeah.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo se llama?
Mucho gusto.
Danina.
Danina.
Sí,
Okay. Haitiana?
haitiano.
Sac passé. Naboulé. un poco criol. Manuel, he's quite popular out here.
Mi amigo, mi amigo Daniel, that's my friend Daniel for a long time.
Oh,
Daniel, look.
hola amigo.
Bien, bien. Right, right. Daniel, it's cool. Look. He got
Saludos.
no job, nothing to eat. You understand what I'm saying? That's what we people we need to help from this kind of people. Daniel, es un regalo para ti. De tu amigo. Dile thank you, muchas gracias. Dile a la cámara.
Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome, my friend.
Sí, sí.
So Manuel, they must have come out here in the countryside for a reason to start with. Was that hope for jobs in the farm district, or?
No, these people right here, they have no job. It's nothing. Nothing to do right here. This is a real countryside right here. Some people, what they doing is they going to Sosua, they going to Puerto Plata, and they work on construction. You know construction?
Yep.
Try to make some money and to survive it right here. A lot of people here, they have hungry because they have no money. This is a really poor country place right here.
Yeah. Fred, just like Manuel, you strike me as one of those guys with a big heart in your chest. What got you motivated to come out here today with Manuel?
Some of the stories I've heard and read, and now I'm seeing it for myself. It's only encouraged me more to help more and to do more. I'm surprised how pleasant these people are with the little they have. It's truly heartwarming. Yeah.
So before you came out to some of the poorer areas, did you see anything on video, documentaries?
A little bit. Didn't know how accurate it was.
So being here, seeing them walking around the street, some of them even bloated tummies, I saw
Yes.
the kids, and
Yep.
how does that make a difference
I know
emotionally, mentally?
mentally, for me, I'm not going to waste anymore. There's people who need it. I'm not throwing stuff away like we do in Canada and the U.S. People really do need it, and do your part. Try and help.
Yeah, thank you.
Talk to the camera. Dígale a la cámara cuántos años tiene usted.
80.
He's 80 years old. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He got no family, nobody helping him. You understand? Dígale que usted es muy pobre, usted necesita.
¿Cómo te llama?
¿Cómo se llama?
José.
José. Es un muy popular nombre de República Dominicana.
Muy bonito.
Muy bonito. Sí.
This is Janelli. Dile Janelli, háblale. Dile Janelli.
Hola,
Caneli.
Janelli.
Janelli, see, he give it back. He give another back to
Thank you,
Janelli,
too.
see, right here too, you know. Yeah. We're here in the Rancho Mateo Montellano. This is the poor people. These people, they got nothing to eat. I bring some food to them, and today they can eat something. That's for you.
Ok, gracias. Dios los bendiga.
Hola para América, Europa, Canada.
Thank you.
Folks, in case you haven't, click the subscribe button and make sure you tick the notification bell to make sure you get all my new releases. Now let's get back to the video. In the past decade, the Dominican government has focused on building the tourism and service industries, however virtually ignoring the agricultural sector. And without sufficient government investment into small farms, then many of the farmers have had to close down and look elsewhere for jobs. As with the current structure, they simply just struggle to provide for their families. Recent research has found that apart from the serious government corruption here, then natural disasters such as droughts, extreme rainfalls, hurricanes and floods are and might continue to be the biggest factors in keeping people in poverty. Because most developing governments invest money in both creating and responding to disasters as opposed to actually protecting its citizens, then the poorest citizens lose almost everything when these disasters hit. Having policies that highlight disaster prevention should instead save the country multi-millions of dollars and give the poor their deserved chance to survive. The country's education system does not rank well amongst those in other countries, mainly due to the absence of financial investments in its schools. Poverty affects the ability to learn. Adding a failing education system sets the additional snare, making it twice as difficult for poor people to escape the poverty. Many kids simply drop out of schools to help provide for their families. According to data from the Ministry of Education, school desertion is high. And during the school year of 2017 and 2018, over 40,000 students from the public and private schools were registered but dropped out during the school year. The main reason for dropping out is the difficulty in getting to and from school and financial problems at home. Children that do attend schools must cope with overcrowding and inexperienced teachers. Failure to receive an education also lends itself to several problems and has been linked to an increase in teen pregnancy rates on the island. So with a corrupt government that refused to reinvest much of the millions collected annually in taxes, fines and fees back into its own nation, this greed is what keeps the economy strangled and keeps families much poorer than without this cartel controlling everyone. Instead, they afford themselves, their armed forces and connected families all the best technology, equipment and luxuries life has to offer. Sad, but true. What would you say is the situation with regards to poor people down here? Are they all in a tough situation? Is there a lot of them that could help themselves if they just chose to, or what's your opinion about that?
Well, I mean, always remember this is a third world country. So everything here, I mean, it's on a different level. Us being here in Sosúa, I think we sometimes forget that. You know, we have the nice hotels and nice apartments. Outside, it's still third world. They're not a developing country, it's still a third world country. So for the most part, you have a lot of poverty. You know, in this country, there really is no middle class. They're slowly building a middle class, but it's like rich and poor. There's no in between. So you either have a lot of money or you don't.
Now, when you kind of reflect back to your own success back in the States and other people that you know who are successful, I mean, we're taught a lot of things in terms of work ethics, time management, productivity, task management, all this kind of thing. Do you think that they are doing everything they can, some of them, the ones that have 2 healthy arms, 2 healthy legs, are they doing everything they can to actually bootstrap themselves from where they don't want to be to where they could be?
Well, you said it. You said the exact word. Learn. We learn. Everything we learned from where you're from, where I'm from, was a learned behavior from our parents and people around us.
Right.
If you don't have anyone showing you to have a work ethic, or showing you how to thank you, or showing you how to go about your daily way, using your time productive, using your knowledge productively, you're never gonna learn. You're never gonna know that. Everything we know is a learned behavior. I was taught by my grandfathers and my father how to work, having a great work ethic, never giving up, every failure is a new way to learn how to succeed. So everybody's not taught that though. So if you don't learn that, then you'll never know how to work.
So in your opinion, the solution to the poverty, apart from donating things to them, would be education?
I was just about to say, education is the biggest thing. Most of it is non-education. The reason why a lot of them don't do as well, because they're not taught. Some of them go out and do small hustles here and there, and small jobs just to get by. But they never actually learn to do a bigger hustle. Or if you ever notice, the families with money, it's usually deep-rooted from the grandparents on. Someone started a business along the way, and all the family started working for the business, and they built another business and built another business and grew in that family. And then maybe they taught someone else, and they learned the same method. Every Dominican I know who's successful, that I personally know, started from little to nothing and built something slowly. It took time, but they built it up. Yeah. And the people that are doing it with them are the family members or friends that stuck by them and saw the vision and decided to build it with them.
In terms of education, I know from my years in school, they taught nothing that was going to help you start a business. They didn't even talk about the option of becoming self-employed. So my learnings came from listening to audio materials from some of the best in the world: Brian Tracy, Zig Ziglar, Tony Robbins, Jim Rohn. So just because people start educating themselves, which I hear a lot from Haiti, Haitians are very educated people in terms of academic stuff, but not real life stuff, and how to handle your money, how to handle your time, how to negotiate, how to start a business, how to run a business, how to do the books, and so on and so on. I mean, so who is there to teach these people how to do it?
That's the problem. I mean, like I said, I had people in my life to teach me, not just to start a business, but the work ethic. So no matter what I did, I succeeded because people were there to show me, okay, you have to keep working harder. And the harder you work harder than that. That's how I live. But if no one's there to show you any of that, you'll never know. Who's there to teach them? I don't know. As you said with the Haitians, they actually have very good academics. But they also are in poverty as well. Now, most Haitians can speak Spanish, Creole, French, and English. Because the academic-wise, they actually have good academics, but they're also in poverty.
So, last thing here, would you suggest people donate food or things to the poor people? Would you still suggest that? It's like it's not the prevention end, but it's on the curing end. Is that still the right thing to do?
I'm always about giving. I grew up poor myself, so I'm always about giving. But would it change the country? No. Are you helping people? Yes. I believe in helping people, so I would say giving is one way to help, especially if you're going to be here in the country, but it's not a solution.
There's a saying, if you give a person a fish, you fed them for a day. If you teach them how to fish, you fed them for a lifetime.
Exactly.
Just a personal opinion. I think everybody sometimes needs some help. And I remember from my childhood when we got donated some clothes from a family with older boys. Hey, it was like Christmas, you're getting something. So there's nothing wrong with giving, but I would like to see the help organizations down here also do more on the preventative side, as like education of how they can stand on their own 2 feet, grow their own fruits and veggies and so on. If you just get a bag of vegetables from a supermarket given to you by an American or whoever, that'll feed you that day and maybe the next. But if they were given some seeds and some education on how to plant them and nurture them and harvest them and so on, I mean, that's the long-term stuff, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And to what you just said, I have a few kids that come by every now and then, and I tell them, instead of begging, ask me what I need. Do I need ice? Do I need you to clean up the steps? They do it. Get food. I break them off a couple dollars, but they earn rather than just asking for something. And they actually pop up here every couple of days and say, "Give me a broom, give me a mop."
What can I do for you? Excellent, yeah.
And that's the way to teach them that they'll earn something.
You give me ping, I'll give you pong.
Exactly.
Thank you very much. So this was Mr. Flip Flop, and just give yourself a shout out. You got a nice restaurant here.
The Club Sports Bar.
Yeah, and as well as fishing tours and much more. So again, thank you and all the very best.
Thank you much, Mr. T.
Cheers.
The Social Security in Dominican Republic is regulated by a law of 2001. The law provides for two types of pension systems. The first one is called the mandatory individual pension, and the second one is called the social assistance pension. The mandatory individual pension covers all private sector employees. Voluntary coverage is also available for Dominican citizens living abroad, public sector workers, and private sector workers who were older than the age of 45 back in 2003. Self-employed persons are excluded from this type of pension. An actual old age pension under this program is available, but at the age of 60, with at least 30 years of paying taxes and contributing to their pension fund. However, since the pensions are pathetic, then pensioners are not required to stop working. The minimum old age pension is equal to the lowest legal minimum wage. The lowest legal monthly minimum wage for private sector workers is 9,411 pesos. The legal monthly minimum wage for public sector workers is 5,117 pesos, as of November 2017. Due to corruption, the reality is that only about 11% of the country's old population actually receives this pension, leaving the rest struggling to survive. The second type of pension, called the social assistance pension, covers several disabled, needy, unemployed and self-employed persons with incomes below the legal minimum wage. However, again, in this group of people, corruption is again the blame of many of them not receiving their rightful pensions. Although macroeconomic figures has given the impression to be solid for many years, then despite of this, the Dominican government hasn't chosen to prioritize the fight against poverty. The government's deceptive methods to avoid taking responsibility for economic growth and citizens' welfare include short-term gestures such as subsidized prices for food, transportation, water and electricity, subsidized loans, mainly for agriculture, subsidized housing for a few of them, and subsidized jobs in the bureaucracy. Some of these social measures are actually economically destructive rather than progressive.
So Jose, what's the situation with pensions down here? Do they get anything from the government, the elderly?
I think 10% the old people get a pension. It's no normally the most bigger group have a pension for the government. The government don't pay nothing for the old people.
Okay, so it's the small percentage of them get something.
Yeah, around 10%.
Okay, and why do 10% get it and the other 90% not?
It's a corruption for the government. It's just some people with some privilege, some good situation around inside the government.
Okay, so they're getting special favors because they've got family members who work in government positions.
It's something like that.
All right, that sounds corrupt to me.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Jose, may I ask on camera, how old are you?
I have around 50.
So what's the future for you in terms of, do you need to work? Let's say you live till you're 100 plus. Do you need to work till you're 100 plus?
Yeah, I did work when I end my life. I suppose I continue working because the life here for the people and the end time is very difficult. It's hard. We don't have pension. We don't have chance for getting
good situation, really.
Yeah, so it's pretty sad. Everybody has to just keep grinding away finding money, but isn't that also why the family units have to stick together down here, because the elderly must rely quite a bit on their sons and daughters to bring in some money or give them a roof over their head.
The old pension is pension in survival, like an old Dominican person, like an old Dominican family. We are survival person.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
José de Jesus, and if anybody wants to hire you, you make some beautiful art. You see the details at the bottom of the screen. Take care, my friend.
You're welcome.
See ya.
Despite a struggling economy, the Dominican Republic does have jobs available, and self-employment niches actually do exist. However, many choose not to work because of the patriotism prevalent in their culture. Firstly, the political parties take care of the people who vote for them. Secondly, family members who live abroad, and that's about 2 million Dominicans, send back millions of dollars annually, which then becomes a key source of revenue for the country. And now we also have foreigners handing out gifts at every opportunity. Yes, it's okay to tip at the hotels and restaurants, but please recognize that you are creating a culture of dependency on others when you over-tip, or if you go out leaving school supplies or throwing candy from moving vehicles at young children, or supplying food bags to poor villagers. They conclude from this, 1, that they're entitled, 2, that foreigners are a source of income, 3, that waiting around for handouts is better than working. So the result is a majority who's not willing to be productive, hardworking, or ambitious.
Hey everyone, I've got Mark here, who's been in other documentaries before. Thanks again for being on video.
Hi, Mr. T.
From a foreigner's perspective, I mean, you've lived amongst poor people. You were during the whole earthquake seeing some of the most atrocious, sad sights. You've seen poverty. You've tried to starve even at stages, like you reported in a video about the 3 North Americans that fled Haiti when it got rough over there. You've also experienced the poor people here in Dominican Republic. When it comes to empathy, which is a very good thing to have, should people though feel sorry for everyone? Or what's your take on the whole situation?
Empathy, fine. I don't know about sympathy. And trying to start, I was actually trying to eat in Haiti, but the Haitians would look at me and say, Mark, you ate yesterday. What do you need food for today? And I'd say, I'm hungry. And to them, my wife in particular, she would comment on the fact sometimes they wouldn't eat for a week. Her little sister said, Cynthia said, Mark, sometimes we don't eat for 2 weeks. I said, what do? We do our makeup, we do this or that. So their idea of food is different than ours, which is probably a good thing, because you go back to Canada, I don't know, in my eyes, all I see is a bunch of fat people. They don't like being called that, but that's the truth, a bunch of fat people walking around. In Haiti, I see people that aren't so fat, and when they look at our sympathy for them, they almost laugh at it. Because living in amongst them, say as a Haitian, say if I would call myself a Haitian, we don't feel sorry for ourselves. The Haitians never felt sorry for themselves. They would like more money, they'd like more food, but I don't think they're going to get it right away. They view our sympathy almost as a weakness on our part.
Would you say that's the same in the campos where there's poor people in Dominican Republic? If you hit to the poorest
I would say
areas?
even more so, because there's more exposure here to foreigners. There's very few foreigners in Haiti compared to there is in the Dominican. So in the Dominican, they've got it perfected to the art of scamming. In Haiti, they don't really know what to do, but they know that you're going to give them something. You're going to get something out of the white people that come there.
So what advice would you give to foreigners traveling down here who's got big hearts, extra money, they want to help? What's the best way that they can help?
Well, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. You don't want to bring Canadian values to Haiti, that's for certain, because they're not going to work, they're not going to mix. If you wanted to help the Haitians,
or Dominicans, yeah.
Or the Dominicans.
Yeah.
I can speak for the Dominicans a bit because I've been here a couple of months, but I lived in Haiti and I married one, so I really know them deeply. The Dominicans are still a bit of a mystery to me. But the Haitians, they just want to work. what could be done. There's an Irish fellow that started a company called Digicel there, a cellular company, and he said that if he could run the government here, he would have this place up and running in 3 months. The government has really screwed the people of Haiti. And they're hardworking people, as you know. You walk the streets here at 6 a.m. There's no Dominicans up. There's no white people up except a few ladies running to lose the fat off their bums. It's Haitians working here in the Dominican. They love work. They're strong. To help them, you know what, the people that I was with when we went down, there was 140 Americans in the who were there helping for the earthquake trip, and every American said the same thing. Shit, I feel good, I've lost weight. I came here to help, but you know what, the Haitians are helping me. They cleared up my mind, they cleared up my attitudes and a lot of things. So these people that go there to help, if they go with that idea that they can go back to Connecticut or LA with their resume bolstered by living in Haiti, that's what they're doing. But as far as helping the Haitian people, ask the Haitian people if they've been helped by all of this help that's come over the years. They'd say, you haven't helped us at all.
Earlier in this video, I was showing the viewers a trip with a very nice and helpful gentleman who goes out and he meets foreigners, and sometimes these foreigners are willing to pay for food to some of the most needy, who's sitting in wheelchairs, who's got missing limbs, who's blind, or just very old. What's your take on that?
Well, that happens whether it's Sweden, Russia, any country in the world. People are in wheelchairs or handicapped or they're seniors, they need help. You know who should help them? The young men of that country. Not some foreigner coming in to help some old guy in a wheelchair. Get the young men a job, and all young men, as we know, unless you're a criminal, have a good heart. You don't need to come with your good heart to Haiti. Come and train the young men how to work, or come with your construction skills, or teach these young guys how to do something. And guess what they're going to do? They will help grandpa in the wheelchair or that guy. You don't need to be going there with your great little attitudes, because how much good have you really done? If you've done so much good, Haiti would be fixed by now. But in 40 years, there's been very little good done to that country. How do I know? I've lived there. Ask the Haitians how much we've helped. All we've actually done is screw them up.
So then
you don't want to tell that to the nice people that like to help them, because it makes them very upset. It's so upset they'd almost want to hurt someone like me that's saying, hey bro, take care of yourself and teach the Haitians what to do something. Maybe hang out with them. Maybe live with them for a while. Maybe quit eating yourself. Maybe you're eating too much. Maybe the Haitians have something to teach you about life.
When it comes to giving, I said earlier when I interviewed Mr. Flip Flop in the video here about if you give a person a fish, you fed them for a day. If you teach them how to fish, you fed them for a lifetime. Yes. Things like farming, you know, this is such a fertile island. You put a stick in the ground, suddenly leaves starts growing out of it a few days later. I mean, if people could bring down seeds to teach them how to farm a little strip of dirt somewhere and grow some pumpkins, some different types of vegetables and fruits.
You're exactly. You know what these nice people should do? Go to Kansas and pick 50 farmers and say, hey, why don't you come down to Haiti while I sit and knit? You can go teach these guys how to farm. We don't need nice people helping. We need guys that know how to work. That'll say, hey boy, let's get some work done here. Come on, let's get going. We'll organize this plot. We're going to plant trees. Let's get some stuff done. But nice people don't like to do that. They like to give things away because it makes them feel good. But it doesn't make the Haitians feel good. Trust me, I lived with them.
Yeah, and I suppose if you just give them some instant help, that can be nice, but they're still hungry the next day.
Being nice, it's never worked, okay? You better get that out of your heads. Being nice doesn't work. It might be nice to your dog, but for a human being, maybe you have to slap him sometimes and say, let's get to work here. Just like when you go to work at your own job, the boss shouldn't be nice to you.
So leadership and education of practical, productive things. That's
and encouragement.
Is there maybe a mentality too that, hey, all these stupid people come to just give things away, so why should we work? Like here in Sosua, there's a lot of hustlers. And I've said in previous videos, if you drop 500 pesos in the hand of a little kid who rubs his tummy and holds the hand out, you've just cancelled his future. Why should he ever want to convert into being a productive, goal-oriented type of person when he sees people are just willing within seconds to give him 500 pesos? If you go out in the campo here, like we did earlier in the video, don't you think that mentality spreads a little bit like a disease that, well, why should we start being productive? They're going to just keep coming out here and giving us. And
we've given them too much. Why? Because we're nice people. Because we feel guilty about the things we did before. Don't do the bad things, then you don't need to be that nice. That's my advice. Let these people do their own thing, but try to help them. When I was in Haiti, guess how many white people I saw actually in the streets? Not one in all those trips. They go there to help, but they live up in Pétionville. You're listening right now, aren't you? You know about Pétionville, because you probably live there. You live in Pétionville and you have your Escalade and you go help and you go back home to bed. And meanwhile, the Haitians are living in the dirt. You haven't helped them. If you think you do, I'm sorry, you're wrong. I lived with them. They're still rotting there. Teach them how to do something, go and help. Go and live there for a year. Take some time out of your life, your spoiled life in Sweden. Go and live there, but live like they do, and teach them the ways that we have.
Excellent.
Maybe teach the young men how to work.
Thank you very much, Mark. Always
You're welcome.
powerful words from you.